Hey guys, LevelCap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. The recoil system in Rainbow Six Siege is getting an overhaul. Currently, the bullets don't always land at the top of the reticle, leading to shots that aren't on target. In games like Siege, where accuracy is critical to success, this is obviously a huge issue. The devs messed around with the new system last year on the technical test server, but the changes never made their way to the live version of the game. This new system they've just announced looks very promising. It maintains the original feel of the weapons while making every shot land where it should. The new system is also a complete overhaul that affects all weapons. Automatic weapons were the worst offenders in the old system and should operate with much more consistency now. While bullets on the old system had a tendency to be off target, it could lead to both missed kills and undeserved headshots. The technical test server is currently live with the new system, as well as some tweaks to balance Lion's scan ability. An overall gameplay balance patch is apparently in the works as well. Battlefield 1's latest patch has finally addressed the game's indoor lighting system. Since launch, looking out of windows was basically impossible unless you were standing right up against them. This was caused by the excessive bloom that DICE have turned down on several maps. Players should no longer be blinded by window light. That said, windows will still be a bit brighter than when you're outside. It's just not pure white light like it used to be in some situations. The patch also enabled a mid-round balance system. It has a number of criteria for how it shuffles players around, including when team sizes differ by at least 3 players. It considers your score and the amount of time you've played on your team before moving you. Parties won't be moved and players in squads are less likely to be moved. Team imbalance has always been an issue throughout Battlefield 1's life cycle, mainly thanks to how limited the game's rent-a-server program is compared to previous games' custom servers. In Battlefield 3 and 4, it was easy to enable team balancing options that kept the team sizes even. Unfortunately, those systems also broke up parties and squads, making it tough to play with friends. This new system sounds like a great step in the right direction. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds' latest event mode is now live. It's a third-person, squad-only mode on the desert map that features a flare gun. Using it will spawn a care package at your location containing 2 care package weapons, level 3 armor, and other items. Finding a flare gun will be tough as only a few spawn per match. They're placed in single-story small houses throughout the map. The mode will go offline tomorrow night. The most recent patch for PUBG also added weapon skins to the game. I did an entire video about the new content, so be sure to check that out. An update for FORTNITE has been released that adds a guided missile launcher to the game. Missiles can be fired and controlled directly by the player in a similar way to Battlefield 4's TV missiles. You can't move your character while controlling a missile, but you can stop controlling it at any time. The update also addresses some technical issues with the game's new 60 FPS mode on consoles, including some GPU optimizations that resulted in improved visual quality and higher resolution output. The devs also claim the update made some big netcode improvements that should reduce the overall lag. Overwatch's PvE mode UPRISING is making a return to the game on April 10th. What exactly will be different about it this time around isn't clear, but it's likely that some expansions have been made. The return of UPRISING will also include over 100 loot box items. Killing Floor 2's latest update added a new game mode called Infinite Onslaught. Players will go up against zombies in an endless wave mode that increases in difficulty as waves are completed. The update also includes 3 new weapons, a new playable character, and 2 new maps. Destiny 2's latest patch, called Go Fast, addresses a number of quality of life issues players have with the game. Strike-specific loot has been added to the game that players can only unlock via the weekly Nightfall. Repetition has been reduced for exotics and strikes. It's now impossible to get duplicate exotics back to back. Players will never get the same map twice in either strikes or the Crucible mode. Supers have also been tweaked to be faster and more effective overall, with the Dawnblade's Daybreaker super in particular getting a big buff. It now lasts longer, lets you glide faster, and gives you more swords to fling. The next DLC for Call of Duty World War II has been announced. called The War Machine, it adds 3 new maps to the game: Egypt, Dunkirk, and V2. It also adds a new war mode mission called Operation Husky and features aerial combat. The War Machine releases on April 10th for PS4 and about a month later for all other platforms. The original Call of Duty Modern Warfare is also now backwards compatible on Xbox One. Modern Warfare Remastered has been available on console since Infinite Warfare's launch, but the original Xbox 360 game hasn't seen any support until now. Speaking of remasters, Red Faction Guerrilla is getting a total overhaul for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. The game is basically an open-world GTA set on Mars with fully destructible environments. It did poorly at launch, but quickly became a cult classic. The remaster will feature overhauled textures, assets, 4K support, and more. In our final story this week, Valve have dealt another massive blow to the skin trading and gambling websites that have generated billions in revenue over the years. CSGO items received in trade will be locked to the recipient's account for 7 days. This means you can't get a skin in a trade and then instantly flip it on a skin gambling site for a different one. It also means skin deposits to such sites will take 7 days to do anything. What kind of effect this will have on regular players just interested in getting some new skins remains to be seen. It's likely that some of the bigger gambling sites have big enough stockpiles of old skins to ease the blow of this update, but the new skins will probably be a massive issue for them. Valve will continue to monitor the impact of this change and make adjustments where needed. Anyway, this wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what articles you thought were the most interesting or if there's any stories you thought we missed. And I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.